This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for Thursday, August 22nd, 2024. I'm Marek Mazurek. Vincennes-based Wabash Steel is investing $2.5 million to install new high-tech equipment that it says will dramatically improve productivity at its Knox County facility. The company makes steel plate girders for highway and railroad bridges, and Executive Vice President of Operations Jason Turk says Wabash Steel is taking advantage of the modernization of the steel fabrication business.
Bridge fabrication in particular is somewhat behind the times when it comes to Industry 4.0, when it comes to robotics, when it comes to data collection, and then now Industry 4.0 is beginning to show up. Especially in a piece of equipment like this, there's a lot that you can do with that data.
Turk said the company could add 10 to 20 jobs once the equipment comes online in 2025. The investment was made possible with the help of $200,000 manufacturing readiness grant from the state. The new equipment is a high-tech blaster for complex steel cleaning and preparation. That means it can better prepare steel to go on bridges and other outdoor surfaces that see a lot of variable weather. Indiana's State Budget Committee gave the financial green light Thursday morning to use $50 million to secure bonds for a new pipeline that would send 25 million gallons of water per day to the LEAP Lebanon Innovation District and other Boone County developments. The Citizens Energy and Lebanon Utilities Project, which would supply Eli Lilly's manufacturing complex expansion, additional park tenants, and new development in the city, was first reported by the IBJ last week. The potential project would serve as a water source to support the LEAP District, which is the IEDC's major effort to draw giant tech manufacturing facilities into the state. The IEDC had initially planned to draw water from Tippecanoe County and the Wabash River, but a grassroots movement emerged in opposition to that idea, and local officials enacted a moratorium on large water withdrawals. The IEDC says long-term costs for the pipeline would be paid for by new LEAP tenants, not current ratepayers. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana, your bold future starts here. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the Engage Indiana series, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. With an unrelenting focus on growing Indiana's economy, our Engage Indiana events take place in every region of the state. Discover when we'll be in your area at ibj.com/engage.
Virginia-based security company Triple Canopy is planning to lay off 123 workers at the end of September. In a notice to the state, the company said the decision is the result of its contract with the Federal Protective Service expiring. The majority of the affected workers are armed security officers in 20 Indiana cities, including Indianapolis, Bloomington, Evansville, Elkhart, Fort Wayne, Terre Haute, and South Bend. Triple Canopy, a subsidiary of Virginia-based Constellus, said the layoffs are expected to be permanent. It was not immediately clear if the affected workers have the opportunity to be rehired by a new contractor. The layoffs are expected to take place on September 30th, and while some employees are represented by a union, the company said the workers do not have bumping rights. Triple Canopy did not respond to a request for more information from Inside Indiana Business. Legislators on the state's Medicaid Advisory Committee spent hours Wednesday questioning state officials about Indiana's ongoing lawsuit over power account payments. The Healthy Indiana Plan is Indiana's Medicaid expansion system that provides care to non-disabled adults. Prior to 2020, enrollees had to pay small fees called power account payments that were often only $20 or less, or they were dropped to a lower tier of coverage. The payments stopped during COVID, but the Family and Social Services Administration attempted to bring them back until a federal judge struck that down this year. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle urged the FSSA to drop its appeal and cancel the power payments for good, saying they are an unnecessary barrier to Hoosiers trying to get medical care. And the athletic director at a Washington State community college, who is also a former basketball coach, has been hired by Vincennes University to lead its athletic department. John Meeks will begin his new role as the university's athletic director on September 9th, the university said Wednesday. Meeks currently serves as the athletic director at Big Bend Community College in Moses Lake, Washington. Meeks helped spearhead a number of initiatives at Big Bend since becoming athletic director in 2022. He negotiated a 5-year contract with Under Armour and increased head coach stipends across all sports. Preservationist and president of Indiana Landmarks, Marsh Davis, is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast hosted by Gary Dick, presented by PNC. a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Marek Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio On Demand.